now we have a tornado, radar detected tornado over the Bluffton area. Let's take a look at that. That is going to be in effect until 1:30 this afternoon as we see that storm just moving into the Bluffton area right now. And we still have that severe thunderstorm warning for Allen, Adams, Jay, Wells until 1:45. Here's that movement that we have. And you see just at the end of this, that little circular item that we have on the screen, that tells us that there is a cyclone, a mesocyclone in there that is circulating, and we do have the possibility of a tornadic storm that is coming our way and coming into the Bluffton area. We'll move ahead here on the radar, and we are seeing that just in the northern part of the Wells County area. Let's take a look at it. We'll pull up our scope here and we'll show you, yeah, we do have some contrast. You see this coupling in here and this contrast between the green and the red? That is the area where we could see tornadic activity. We are seeing it in the southern part of our area. We just got a new image here, and we are seeing especially just south of the Bluffton area, and it looks like that storm is moving east, southeast to east as it continues, southeast to northeast, I should say, as it continues through the Bluffton area, and that is going to be in effect for Bluffton until 1:30 this afternoon. There is another area of circulation towards the south as well, but we are seeing that area where we're seeing that couplet, that contrast between the green and the red area, which tells us that there is most likely some rotation just towards the south, especially of the Bluffton area. This storm is moving through at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So this particular thunderstorm is going to be moving fairly quickly here towards the Decatur area. So Bluffton, you should see at least the tornado activity south of Bluffton right around 122. If you are in Bluffton, please take cover, get into a safe spot. Hopefully you've predetermined that. A basement would be good, an interior bathroom, a bathtub would be good, and then it moves into other areas around the Bluffton vicinity. So we do see some definite rotation here as this particular storm moves through. Let's take a look at that. Now we're looking, it looks like there is another tornado warning. Remember what I just showed you, all of that rotation? Well, it looks like that rotation has turned into a tornado warning now across Blackford and Wells County until 1:30. These are two separate storms, one across Huntington and Wells County and the other across the Blackford and Wells area. We'll take that scope out and look at that one as well, as we did see some early rotation around there. And yep, we are seeing it just north of Hartford City here. There is a coupling, that area between that green and that red color, and we are seeing the possibility of some rotation, definitely the possibility of a tornadic storm. The big thing here, do not go outside and try to get video of this. Stay inside, as this is a very dangerous storm. Looks like this particular storm is headed from the southeast towards the northeast here, and we'll try to track it for you as we are seeing it just outside of the Hartford City area. So that is headed towards Mount Pelier and possibly towards the Byrne and Bryant areas within the next few minutes here. So it's 1:11 right now. Mount Pelier, you're going to be seeing this storm within the next couple of minutes. So you need to get inside. You need to get away from the windows, an interior bathroom. Basement would probably be the best place to be for this particular storm. And then we have the other storm that is right now just around the Bluffton area. Here's that rotation that we're looking at. We're looking at areas of rotation now just in northern Allen County as well. The two storms that we have tornado warnings for, we're still seeing all of that rotation right around the Bluffton area, and we are seeing that rotation related to a tornadic storm there. And then the other one is just north of Hartford City. If you're in the Hartford City area, Mount Pelier, anywhere in Adams County or Wells County, you need to get inside now. You need to go to a very safe place. A basement would be the best place to be, and we are looking at strong to severe thunderstorms that continue to move in. The other problem with these thunderstorms is that we have tracked some 60-mile-per-hour winds, and that is going to be, I'm just reading something here, that is going to be something that we so I am seeing that rotation around Allen County right now and around the Fort Wayne area, and I'm seeing that rotation around the Bluffton area, so Wells County, and then the northern Hartford City area as well, and there is some activity towards the south. So we have at least 2 confirmed tornado warnings here. We'll show it to you again. We have one in Huntington and Wells County until 1:30, and the other, this is a separate storm, Blackford and Wells County until 1:30 this afternoon. We are going to keep tracking these particular storms as they move across those counties. We haven't had any reports, waiting for maybe some reports of those storms as they move across that area, and if we see any confirmed funnel clouds from those particular storms. So Nathan Gidley is here, and he's going to help us with any kind of storm spotting. But definitely I have seen rotation in both of these storms, and those storms very active right now as they move from the southeast towards the northeast. And this particular plot here in warning has the severe thunderstorm warning and the tornado warning going right through the city of Bluffton. Now, besides that, there are severe thunderstorm warnings out for the southern part of Allen County, which includes Fort Wayne, and then into Adams County, Wells County, into Jay County, and into Blackford County. Those are all warned areas until about 1:45 this afternoon as that thunderstorm moves through. You are going to be seeing straight line winds and the possibility of some rotation here as well through about 1:45 as that storm moves very quickly through the area. Let's take a look at that Allen County storm for you and show you the movement of that particular storm as it moves through the southern part of the county here. Looks like it is moving towards Woodburn, Antwerp, and into Paulding. So that storm moving towards northwestern Ohio. We don't have a warning on that particular storm as of yet, but we are looking at those very strong thunderstorms that are moving towards the east. And right now, let's take a look at that. If you could pull up weather B for us right now. We do have the Bluffton area. Might be something on the ground. There is an extension of those clouds that it looks like might be on the ground, might be a tornado on the ground. This is delayed for a couple of minutes, but we are looking at the extension of those clouds. I don't know if can you guys take the grid camera, those live cameras that we have? I don't know if we can take that live or not. Okay, we can't take the Bluffton camera live right now, but we are looking at the possibility of that storm. Possibly that's the tornado that is coming down and actually headed towards the ground there. You can even see the sun behind it, and that's just one of those warnings. All right, let's go back to weather A now, and we'll show you that we do have that particular tornado warning still in effect, and we think we might have spotted that touching the ground. At least there are some clouds that are lowered tops that are lowered bottoms that are touching the ground right now as this heads towards the Bluffton area. It is 1:17 right now. These warnings are still active for about 10 more minutes here. Also, this particular warning across the northern part of Hartford City, just north of Hartford City in Blackford County. That is going to be active until 1:30 as well. Now, all of these thunderstorm warnings, we don't want to ignore those. Even though there's no tornado or rotation, there could be rotation, and we are seeing the possibility of those 60-mile-per-hour straight-line damaging thunderstorm winds, which could really be a problem as those head across your area as well. We haven't got any additional tornado warnings as of yet, or any additional thunderstorm warnings, although we are seeing some areas of rotation kind of off and on here. We'll take a look at that and try to pinpoint that again, that area of rotation inside of those particular storms. Let's take a look at that here, and we'll move that storm along. I'll get out the scope and we'll try to look kind of underneath the radar for that rotation. We're still seeing some pretty strong rotation there, and we're still seeing some pretty good rotation around the Hartford City area as well. You see that contrast between the green and the red. That tells us that we are most likely going to see some of that rotation around that storm. We got a new tornado warning just coming out right now for the Adams County area. We'll go back to that right now. So that same storm that just went through the Bluffton area now is headed towards Adams County and Decatur, and that is until 1:45. So let's take a look at the movement of this particular storm and show you that it is moving from just outside of Bluffton towards Adams County. That would include Decatur. Also, that would include Bern as well, as that storm comes right towards your area. And we are looking at a very strong signature as well that has really kept its signature on the radar. We think on the Bluffton area site that we were able to see at least some of those cloud bases touching down. And let's see if we can, I'll run a time lapse here. Let's see in Bluffton if we can see anything. There you see the possibility, yeah, some of that cloud base is just touching the ground right there, and that may be some tornadic activity there. The camera was moved a little bit, maybe by the winds as that particular storm is moving through. So our newest tornado warning right now is in Adams County, and that is included in that Adams County tornado, the city of Decatur. Wells, you are still in that warning as it's still moving out of your county until 1:30, but this newest area right here, which does include the city of Decatur, is just starting to move in towards that area right now. Now, we don't know if this is actually going to hold together and move into northwestern Ohio. That's still to be seen, but we do have this strong line of thunderstorms and those severe thunderstorm warnings out for Adams, Blackford, Jay, Wells, and the southern part of Fort Wayne. You can see that line. See, I'm moving kind of along this line around the Fort Wayne area and then south toward these tornado areas. Looks like we just are getting another brand new tornado warning in. We'll go to that one. That is just south of this particular tornado warning, and that would be for the southern part of Adams County. It's going to include the northern part of Jay County and just in the southern part of Wells County, that now until 1:45. So we've got two different cells here that we're watching. We're watching this one that's moving across Decatur, and then we're watching this other line. Here's Bern. We're watching this other line of severe weather and that tornado moving right towards the city of Bern right now. Also Bryant in Jay County. You're just south of that, but I would take cover as well. We're still seeing a tornado warning for the next couple of minutes around Mount Pelier, but it looks like the echoes are at least showing that that has moved out of the Mount Pelier area, as well as Panito was just on kind of the edge of this. It looks like it moved through just around the Bluffton area and now is headed towards Decatur. So that's storm number one. Storm number two, and the last tornado warning we just saw right now, is in the Bern area. And let's take a look at that. First of all, we'll look at this movement here of these particular storms. I'll zoom in for you. They're moving very fast from west and really southeast towards northeast, but really right now it's got more of a west to east movement in it, and it is just moving towards the Decatur area. So I'll stop motion here. We'll go in with that scope again, and we'll kind of look underneath the thunderstorm. Now, we're looking for a contrast in colors, and it looks like we might see, yeah, there's a couplet right there, just south of Decatur, where we probably are seeing some rotation. But I'm thinking that right outside of Bluffton, as we head into Adams County, we are seeing some rotation there as well. This storm, once again, is headed very, very quickly towards those areas, and it looks like it is moving at a very fast pace, because just since we've been on, this has moved into a bunch of different counties here, and it has moved along from Wells County, from Huntington County into Wells County, and now into Adams County, and we have two separate storms. So let's take this down and look at the other part of this storm system. And wow, we do have a couplet down here. So there is rotation pretty much confirmed on the radar here across the northern part of Jay County, southern Wells County, and that is going to head towards you folks in Bern as well. So let's take a little bit of a tour here as far as how this is going to track in the next few minutes as we are watching that particular storm head towards the east. I'll take it through the loop again and show you that. It's just reloading right now. But we are looking at that particular storm as it is providing. Now we are seeing some hail and some wind right around the eastern part of Allen County. That would include New Haven and down south towards Monroeville. Now here is the part of the storm that we wanted to look at here as we are seeing some of that activity. Nathan?
Thankfully, Greg, we're not seeing any reports coming in of a tornado, but it's one of these situations where there's going to be a lot of rain and wind anyway, so it's going to be difficult for you to really see a tornado. So this is why we have to stress it's important to get to your safe place and ride out the storm. Don't try to go out and just take pictures or video. Wait until it's safe to do so. Again, if you're in these spots, find that safe place, lowest level of your building, interior closet or a basement. Good suggestions. Get that severe weather safety kit all ready to go. Thankfully, I'm not seeing any obvious signs of debris showing up, looking at correlation coefficient, but something we'll definitely be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, no, we're seeing that rotation, and that's a good point that you made. We're seeing the rotation inside of the cloud, and that most likely is above the ground right now. So you most likely would see a funnel cloud out of this, but the whole thing is it going to touch the ground? And just for your safety, there is a thunderstorm and also a tornado warning that has been issued for that area. We have some updated times here headed through Bern within the next 5 minutes or so. Folks in Bern, you need to get to a safer place now. Really, we can't emphasize enough, don't watch this out the window, because this is going to be something that is could be, even if you're not going to see the tornado, you're going to see some gusty straight line winds possibly along with this as well. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. I'll zoom in a little further so we can see some of the other areas that are related to some of these storms as we're looking at Bern, Ceylon that is just towards the south, on the Indiana 27 here, and also around 124. We are looking up towards the north, just north of Decatur from Magley right now, where you're seeing some intense rain right now. It is just moving towards, we just got a new radar scan here. It is just moving towards Decatur. So you're just getting some light rain ahead of that on that echo, and then we are looking at that rotation that's starting to come through. Also, Lynn Grove getting hit pretty hard right now, as well as Veracruz. It looks like Bluffton, you are pretty much out of it now, as we are seeing the most intense echoes from that radar that is showing up just across Adams County right now. So we've got two storms. I'll head back up there and show you here. We've got two storms that are warned for tornadoes, both right now in the Adams County area, and you can see those two particular cells here. And the newest one, just towards the south and the Bern area, which has just come in the last few minutes, that is active for another 15 minutes. As I said, Bluffton and Wells County, that's going to expire because the main part of that storm system has moved out of your area, and it looks like the other particular storm that was in northern Blackford County, that tornado warning, is going to expire at about 1:30 as well. So we're still tracking these northern cells, and it looks like we are still going to see at least some rotation within the clouds. Now the question is, and Nathan mentioned this just a couple of minutes ago, will it actually touch down? And the good news is we do have storm spotters out there, and we will be able to get a confirmation from them as well. So, and possibly from the debris sensor on our radar as well. So we are watching for that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not seeing any reports coming through with our storm spotters. I have been browsing some of our Facebook comments. Someone named John in Bluffton says he sees rotation in the clouds, but nothing more than that. So that's good news. Hopefully that's just the upper level rotation. Nothing ends up touching down this situation.
Yeah. That's kind of how they start, though. I mean, storm spotters are trained in your Storm Spotter 101 class to look at rotation in clouds, and that's kind of the first signal that we have rotation that might materialize into a tornadic storm. But definitely we've seen that rotation within the clouds, and we've seen that okay, so we have that event canceled towards the west. The tornado watch counties will show you that. But some of those areas are not in it anymore. That would be Whitley County, Huntington County. Just getting a new severe thunderstorm warning now for Wells County. You just had the tornado warning. Now we're getting a severe thunderstorm warning there. Let's take a look at the warning map for you again. That particular storm is moving through Wells County, and that warning is going to be until 2:15. So you still have some strong thunderstorms, and there's that warning right now for the Bluffton area that is in effect until about 2:15. And we'll continue to watch now as a severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued for the Salina, Ohio area, and Mercer County is now in that area of strong storms until about, there's Salina, until about 2:15. So this whole line of thunderstorms. So the question is this whole thing going to hold together as it heads towards the Van Wert area? We haven't seen a warning as of yet for Van Wert or Paulding. This has all been, of course, south of Fort Wayne. The southern part of Fort Wayne did have some activity. Looks like we had some areas of large hail. We haven't reported or or seen on the radar any kind of rotation as of yet. But here is what we're looking at. Now, there are a couple of areas here that are still showing rotation. I'll pause the radar here on the last frame. We're seeing some rotation still in some of these areas right around Decatur. See, we're still seeing some rotation there, and we're still seeing some rotation around the Bluffton area, and now across the northern part of Jay County, which is Warren too. And you can just see here, there is a little couplet here of which indicates some rotation just south of the Portland area, and so that is most likely at least some upper air rotation there. And we're also looking at the area towards the north here, around the Bluffton area. We are seeing actually around the Decatur area, I'm sorry, we're still seeing some rotation, and we're seeing a little coupling in the southern part of the county. That is the particular tornado warning right now for the Burn area. And so we're still seeing rotation here. Any of these, even though we don't have confirmation of those striking the ground yet, any of these tornadoes still could strike the ground, and we are still seeing it sustain all of this rotation. So we're continuing to watch these areas of rotation, and you see them there, still some what we call mesocyclones that are moving across the area, and that is a little troubling because we know that those clouds are rotating. Best thing to do, even if we don't have any confirmation of this being on the ground, get inside and get to an area that is safe. Likely at your house, or if you're watching this at work or somewhere remote, because we are streaming this, you need to get to someplace that is safe at work as well. If you work in one of those modular buildings, it's probably not the best place to be. You might be better in a lower place. Maybe you have one building that is sturdy there, the offices or something like that, or even a lower place that's outside. Those modular buildings are not safe in those thunderstorm winds. So we've got two of those tornadoes. Let's see the status of those right now. We've still got two active tornado warnings for Adams and Wells, and the other one for Adams. Actually, we're seeing two in Adams County right now. We're seeing one in the southern part of Adams County that we've been tracking. That is moving towards the Burn area right now. And of course, see, you're getting very heavy rain right now, possibly some rotation right around Burn and south of Burn, right around 27 there. We're also seeing some areas of hail that are showing up as well, and we're still seeing some rotation in Decatur. What's that, Nathan?
They just extended the severe thunderstorm warning, so this now goes further off into Ohio, includes Paulding and Van Wert counties. 60-mile-per-hour winds still a concern there. I did just get a report in from an emergency manager in Grant County after the storms passed through there. Thankfully, he's reporting minimal damage. So far, just a few trees down in the Jonesboro, Indiana area. So that could possibly just be from the strong winds themselves as the storms work their way through. But again, if you're anywhere in those polygons that have the tornado warnings, get to that safe place. Thankfully, our northern community is looking pretty good right now, but we're still tracking this line in our southern counties now into Ohio.
Yeah, and we're seeing it right now in Wren at 149. It's 135. So in the next 5 minutes or so, you are going to see at the city of Van Wert, you're going to see those severe storms. Now, these storms are capable of producing those gusty winds of up to 60 miles per hour. Now, we have had, and we're still in the midst of a warning, and it looks like the heaviest rain right now is in places like the Decatur area, and those echoes showing that we still have some rotation around, at least the clouds are rotating around Decatur right now. So you are in the midst of it, and even if a tornado right along 27, see it there? Even if a tornado does not touch the ground there, you're still in jeopardy of seeing excuse me, those winds of up to about 60 miles per hour. Now, we are seeing some strong storms headed out of Monroeville. So Paulding County, there's a new warning, and those thunderstorms, you're getting some preliminary stuff, but those thunderstorms are moving right along that line there, and we'll show you that the lightning as well along that area as we continue to watch the possibility of even some rotation, which we've seen through Decatur. Now, we haven't had any kind of tornado warning in the Van Wert area as of yet, but the rotation certainly is possible. Now, these storms now starting to move into Paulding. These are the storms that are going to produce those surface winds, those microburst straight line winds of up to 60 miles per hour. Those can do damage. Those can take down trees. Those can take down power poles. They can take roofing, at least portions of roofing, off of houses. So you do need to be aware of that, and it's just moving into Paulding County right now. We're still seeing some of that across the Decatur area. These warnings are still active and will stay with you, and it's our policy, by the way, to stay with those tornado warnings until they're not active anymore. So we want to keep those folks safe. So we really do appreciate folks that are not seeing severe weather right now around the Fort Wayne area, west of Fort Wayne and north of Fort Wayne, for kind of putting up with us for a few minutes as we are trying to keep people around the Decatur area right now and around the Bern area safe in the midst of the heaviest part of this particular storm that's moving through. Now, we're still seeing, at least our radar is saying that we do have some rotation in the clouds. We do have a mesocyclone there. I'll take another look on the scope here. Not really seeing a couplet here, Nathan.
Yeah, they have expired the severe thunderstorm warning for our Indiana county,
Right.
so that's the good news. But we still, again, have that tornado warning for about another 7 minutes or so. Thankfully, the rotation's looking a bit more broad here, so that's good. Not an obvious signature showing up as we're looking through it.
We're not seeing any couplets here. We did a little bit earlier, but yeah, it more so resembles something that is kind of those rotating clouds that people have been reporting across that area. Now, Nathan, we still haven't had any reports as of yet of any kind of ground confirmation. Is that correct?
No, just still that report from Grant County of the tree damage. But again, anytime you have rotating storms, you want to seek that safe place. Just because you may have a severe thunderstorm warning in Van Wert County now, for example, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't not take it seriously. Anytime there's rotating storms, want to be safe, want to take your precautions here. Don't let your guard down. We could easily see this thing cycle back around and cause some more rotation once again. So Van Wert County, now's a good opportunity to get to that safe place, go to that lowest floor of your building, take your tornado precautions, severe thunderstorm precautions, and only come on out when it's safe to do so.
Yeah, and we're seeing some of that possibly into Ohio City by about 1:52, so within the next 10 minutes. So you have a little bit of time, not a whole lot, but you do have a little bit of time to kind of get ready for things here. And we're still seeing some of that rotation as it heads right across 224. And it looks like the heaviest part of this system is going to be just south of the city of Van Wert, Ohio City, and over towards Delphus as well. As this line, this is it. This is the main line that we've been kind of waiting for all day. You see it here. This line is going through, and once it does clear Indiana, I think Indiana, it looks like it's already cleared Fort Wayne and Allen County, and this Indiana watch, the tornado watch, will be lifted. But we still have areas in around Van Wert County, as well as Salina and Mercer County, and in Paulding. Looks like you're getting some pretty heavy rain right now, the possibility, along with those thunderstorms, and we don't want to underestimate those because we're still looking, even if we don't get any tornadic activity, we're still looking at those thunderstorms, which will be up to 60 miles per hour winds out of those thunderstorms, and that really can cause damage as they come rushing towards your house, your yard, fencing, siding, roofing, all of those things. And even those modular buildings are not really the safest place to be in those straight line winds. And one other way we can tell that we do have some gusty winds, see how these lines, this line of thunderstorms is not really, yeah, we're just getting a new thunderstorm warning here in Defiance County. Those lines of thunderstorms are not really straight. That tells us that there's some wind blowing within those storms. They're kind of bowing out, and that tells us there's some wind in those storms. So we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning right now for Defiance, Henry, Pauldings, Williams. That is until 2:30. We're going to stay on the air until these areas are clear. We still have the tornado warnings for the southern and northern part of Adams County right now. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning right now for the Portland area. Looks like it's cleared out of Blackford County, but you're technically still in that warning. And just around Monroeville, we still could see some gusty winds there. Now, it is headed towards the Van Wert area, and we'll try to show you some timing on when it gets there and what to expect. Of course, what to expect are those gusty thunderstorm winds. So around Van Wert, should be there just after 2 o'clock. And I think your warning, if I'm not mistaken, is until 2:30. So that particular storm headed right across the Van Wert area right now. And as you know, in Van Wert, for some reason, that area very susceptible to tornadic winds and severe thunderstorms. So folks in Van Wert probably know better than anybody on our map how to prepare and how to hunker down during a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. We do have still some activity around the Paulding area. Remember, we do have those severe thunderstorm warnings still out for Adams, Blackford, Jay, and Wells until about 1:45. And then that other warning now as the storms are going across northwestern Ohio till about 2:30 this afternoon across Van Wert and Salina. Looks like it's headed towards New Bremen in northwestern Ohio as well, but it looks like some very heavy gusty winds in Paulding. Now, we haven't had any new reports of rotation from what I can tell here. We haven't had certainly any new tornado warnings, and we're just watching this area of the tornado warning. It's just starting to clear across the Decatur area. So it's just east of Decatur, and it looks like, let me zoom in here, it looks like it's just towards the east of Bern here. So you folks are just about really out of the woods. Looks like the heaviest rainfall is across the Wren area and across Monroeville. That's where you're still seeing the possibility of some of those gusty winds. So those tornado warnings are going to come off the map here within a minute or so. So let's just tell you about the whole situation. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings still into effect, especially across portions of northwestern Ohio, which will include the Paulding area and into Van Wert until about 2:30 this afternoon. We're watching as those tornado warnings are going to expire here, and so we do have some warnings just into Mercer County. Those winds up to 60 miles per hour, and there we go. Those warnings have expired. Now, we still have our tornado watch, especially for folks in northwestern Ohio, and it does right now still include the Fort Wayne area, but I think that will be cleared momentarily as well. We are now going to go off the air. If we do have any new warnings, especially tornado warnings, we will be back with that coverage, but we're going to send you now to your regularly scheduled program, and we are still going to track these particular storms as they come through. Get the WANE weather app if you don't have it. It's not too late. That'll give you notifications. Also, we are streaming all of these graphics that you saw. We are going to be streaming those on WANE.com, so you can really keep track of the storms even if we're not on. But we will be on in an instant if we do see more tornadic activity, that's for sure, as things are starting to wind down across Indiana, and now we're still seeing some activity with those thunderstorms across northwestern Ohio. We'll see you later.